Good morning, sports bettors, non-sports bettors, cappers, gamblers, ladies of the day, ladies of the night, bartenders, restaurant workers, day walkers, accountants, computer scientists, all you guys. Welcome in to The Window, the sports betting podcast where all we're trying to do is turn a losing hobby into a legitimate side hustle. I am Jemiah, your host of this daily thing. You're going to be seeing a lot of my face coming through here, a lot of my face, especially with football around the corner. And I've got 3 season previews and 6 teams ready to go. I'm going to start dropping those, whenever the fuck I feel like it, because it's June and I've got 2.5 months to do it. I'm going to get it done sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. But let's recap yesterday. I'm going to start with the bad. I always start with the bad because I'm going to tell you when I win, tell you when I lose. NBA yesterday, over. We got blanked. We got blanked in the NBA yesterday. Every single prop. Wemby under Madison Square Garden, under 41.5 PRAs. The man did his thing. Respect to the Spurs for showing some pride, showing some fight, and doing it in front of a crowd that was just awesome. It looked like an awesome environment to play in. I only watched part of the game. And the other part, I was watching some WNBA stuff. Baseball, we went 3-0. All underdogs, all half unit plays, but we still gained 2.4 units. Let me see, who did we cash on in baseball? Yeah, we cashed on the Rays, we cashed on the Nationals. The Reds was a push, and apologies here. I said 3-0, but we only had 3 bets. Yeah, we cashed on the Rays. Oh, it's showing the Rays twice. I added Polymarket, because I'm trading on Polymarket now, as one of my one of my other outs. And okay, so I added Polymarket. So we went 2-0-1, and we gained 2 units from that. And then in the WNBA, let's see what we did. Yeah, we went 4-4 in the WNBA, and because of the books that we use and the juice that we do not pay and refuse to pay here at the To the Window Sports Betting Podcast, we gained units by splitting. At a normal book, if you go 4-4, you're going to lose 0.4 of a unit. Depends on what. Yeah, you'll end up losing. Yeah, you would lose half a unit, but we shop around for prices here and get the best odds between Polymarket, Kalshi, Novig, and Profit X. You can go 4-4 split and actually make some money. We had the Storm plus a 16.5. They only lost by 10. We had Brianna Stewart over 19.5 points. She scored 28. We had Leah Boston over 13.5. She scored 14. Lucky dog there. Kiki Irieffin over 9.5 rebounds was an awful bet. She only had 2 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, we had her over 19.5 points. She only scored 15. The Mystics defense showed up second half. They gave up I think it was 53 or 56 points in the first half. Only 20 points in the 22 points in the second. So their defense really stepped up. But yeah, they held Kelsey Mitchell to only 15. And the only reason they won is Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark things, man. That's what she does. That's why she is one of the best. Paige Beckers is better by a long shot. Sorry. And is going to end up staying healthier. And in the long run is going to be a better player than Caitlin Clark. And that's a fact. Write it down. I've been saying it since they drafted Paige. I've been saying it since before she blew her ACL out at UConn, when nobody even knew who Caitlin Clark was. And the other bet was Anissa Morrow, her over on rebounds. She was a late scratch, coach's decision. She didn't play. I don't think she's injured. And then we had the under in the Mystics and the Fever game that cashed. And we had the under in the Sun and Liberty that did not cash. I guess they listened to the podcast and heard me talk about their piss poor shooting and decided to prove otherwise with me. But they shot the lights out. They played really well. That being said, let's reset. Got to go over the. I'm going to go over the NBA bets because they were that bad that they deserve to be talked about. I can't talk about the good without talking about the bad. It was Landry Shamet over 8.5 points. But he scored 3 at home, and he's been on fire all playoffs. He scored 3. This many, as my nephew Coleman would say. So he sucks. Dylan Harper had 13 points going into the fourth, and he couldn't get a lap dance with a fistful of hundreds and Brad Pitt as his wingman could not score a basket. So he ended up on 13, and we lost by the hook on Dylan Harper. Karl Anthony Towns just no-showed. I should listen to the games, but I mostly watch them in silence while listening to, like, sports betting and more other podcasts of people who have been doing this longer than me, that are sharper than me, that are better than me, so I can learn from them. So I listen to that in the background while I'm watching games on silent, because I don't want the crowd to affect how I feel. I don't want to get my emotions involved. And they do, just from watching, from being a basketball player. But that was one of those where Karl Anthony Towns, let me know in the comments, like and subscribe to the video, by the way, but let me know in the comments what happened to Cat yesterday. Did a grown man just get grown man by a dude that's not a grown man yet? Like Wemby decided, like, yo, you got me fucked up, homie. That's what it looked like to me. And then we also had Karl Anthony Towns over 1.5 3-point field goals made, not even close. And the last one was Wemby under 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This brother had the one caveat that I had to this bet that made me like it so much was the assist thing. He hadn't gone over 1 or 2 assists in a minute, but he had 32 points, 8 rebounds. That's 40. We have 41.5. And then he has 6 assists. So he really stepped up. Impressed with the young man. Now you got to do it again, buddy. Now you got to do it again. So we'll see how that goes. And today we are on several WNBA plays and a few baseball plays, like we do. Not very many, but a couple. And we're going to get into it. But first, I've got you go into the motivational aspect of this thing. I've spent enough time recapping yesterday. But my question is this. Just because you're online doesn't mean you have to be angry. I feel like everybody that's on the internet, because, their faces are hidden and there's no physical contact involved, people are just angry and they're mad and for no reason, bro. Like, stop. Put the sword down, man. You don't have to be angry all the time. You really don't. You don't have to be angry all the time. Just be cool. Shouts out to the 2 dudes in the comments yesterday. Appreciate y'all engaging. And I acknowledge my mistake. The Jalen Brunson thing was not a trade. He was an unrestricted free agent. He was ready to sign a 4-year, $55 million extension. Dallas wanted to play the wait and see game. Brunson said, "Nah, I'll take my talents to New York City." It looks like he made the right choice. So shouts out to you for that. And the other gentleman that said the Knicks only won the other game by 1 point. Well, they still won the game, man. 1 point more than the other team means you won the game. It doesn't matter by how many. So let's get into today's card. We've got the Dream playing the Broken Sky. Call them the Broken Sky because they're struggling right now. And we've got the Dallas Wings playing the Minnesota Lynx. I think this is game of the night. And Phoenix is playing Golden State. And in baseball, we have 3 plays. I was looking at the Padres, I was looking at the Blue Jays, and I was looking at the Rockies. I can find them all at plus money, but they did not pass my filters, my parameters, my model. They didn't pass any of that, and the price just wasn't right. So for the we'll start with baseball and with MLB. First, a baseball play. We're taking the Los Angeles Angels at home against the Houston Astros. I was supposed to put a bet in at the beginning of the season on the Astros to not make the playoffs, and missed out on that. I was also supposed to put in a bet while I was up at the casino last time for the Braves to win the AL East, and I didn't do that. I'm an idiot. That being said, hindsight's 2020. I will be going up to the casino this summer to make some football future bets. Quite a few of them, actually. But anyway, back to this matchup between the Angels and the Astros. Walter Uranius going for the Angels. He's 22. He's a young fellow. He made his debut on opening day. He's been a quiet surprise. He's got a 2.68 ERA, but he's got a sinker that hits about 99 with a sweeper and a changeup. Keeps hitters off balance. His exit velocity is only 86. Most of these guys are upwards of 87, 88, 90, shit like that. And he's got a hard hit rate of 30%. And the pod yesterday, I think the 3 pitchers I discussed yesterday, even though we did go 3-0, but the 3 pitchers I discussed yesterday, their hard hit rate was around between 34 and 38% for most of them. So that is important. So for him to only have 30%, that's a good number. That'll in the league, it's the Major League Baseball, the average is 37%. So that's a really good number for Urania. And on the other side, we have Kaiwei Tang takes him out for Houston. God bless you. His ERA is 3.06. That's a surface number, but his StatCast tells a different story. He's got an exit velocity of almost 90, 89.8, a hard hit rate of 36.6%. You see the difference? Urania, 30%. Him, 36%. Big difference. His on base average against him is 3.07, but an expected on base average of 2.98. It's not screaming that he's due for some major regression, but his expected ERA, here's where the problem is for him for this pitcher. His expected ERA is 3.78. His actual ERA is showing 3.06. So he's been getting lucky. I think this Angels lineup is where the luck stops. And Houston's bullpen is worse than the Angels bullpen. So this is why I'm not just doing the first five here. Houston's bullpen ERA is 5.46. The Angels bullpen ERA is 5.14. Not great for either one. Maybe look at the over. I don't bet overs, only bet underdogs in baseball. But Angels money line to beat the Astros. Play number 1 in MLB. Play number 2, we're taking the Minnesota Twins at the Tigers. Look, the Tigers kind of rounded in the form there down in Tampa Bay by sweeping them last week. And they've been playing some good baseball lately. Now here's where I think they come back to earth, because the Twins are playing. They've been playing decent baseball all year. They're not doing the up and down thing. Up and down. They've just been steady. They lose who they're supposed to lose. They win when they should win. They've got a decent record, not horrible, but they are putting out Zebby Matthews for the Twins. He's a rookie lefty working through his first full season. He's got a pretty high ERA, but and he's got a pretty high walk rate, but he's shown enough games to keep it competitive. Just give me 5 good innings. Don't blow up. Let me get to the bullpen. And Detroit has got Troy Melton going. His ERA is much lower. Zebby Matthews is 4.5. Troy Melton's 2.68. But his fielding independent pitching is a little bit high relative to his ERA, which is a signal for regression. But it's the defense that's been keeping Detroit in games, not necessarily him. It's not a pitching edge play. It's just a market play. I think the Twins are the better team at this moment on this Tuesday, June 9th. I just think the Twins are the better team. At plus money, I'm going to take it. Got that one on Polymarket as well. And we are taking the Cleveland Guardians. I still call them the Indians. We're taking the Cleveland Indians against the Yankees. Look, Garrett Cole scoring for New York. And listen, this dude's coming back from injury. I think he missed the first month and a half of the season, and he is legitimately in the Cy Young conversation. He's good. His hard hit rate's only 28%. The pitcher I was talking about 2 games ago was 30%. He's coming off surgery. It's 28%. Elite. His on-base average against him is 273. His expected is 251. His contact quality is better. This guy's great. So why am I taking the Indians? Because Slade Ciccone isn't the problem. He's decent. 87% exit velocity, 34% hard hit rate, 343 and 341 WOBA and expected WOBA, WOBA. Google it, look it up. It'll explain what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a bounce back indicator. This dude's not as bad as his first couple starts, and I think that with the ticket count, it's kind of early in the day, so I'm gonna wait. And if you want to not bet this, don't pay the juice on the Yankees at plus 16. I'm not waiting on Garrett Cole to be bad. What I do know is him coming off injury. He's not going longer than 5 innings, maybe 6. Who knows? But they just went to extra innings. They taxed their bullpen. Cleveland doesn't hit a major amount of home runs, but we can score runs and play small ball. And with that bullpen being tired, or arms being used the night before, I think the bullpen that's tired, missing Aaron Judge and needing to be carried by Giancarlo Stanton and Dominguez and Ben Rice, I don't see it against this pitching staff. So give me the Guardians at the plus money on the Poly market. It's half units if you want. I think I went 3/4 of a unit or whatever. Angels plus 107, $10 brings you back about 21. Twins plus 112, $10 brings you back $21.20 if you want to be exact. And Guardians plus 116, $10 will bring you back 22 after taxes, fees, shipping, handling, and gratuity. Do me a favor, take a second, like and subscribe to the video while I get into this WNBA thing. And we're going to get into there's some really good games in the W today. Got a bunch of bets, 3 games tonight. And, I'm not just going based on this team's got this many wins, this team's got this many losses. And some of these lines have moved overnight. That's why I do these videos at these times, because 1, I'm a night owl, very much a night owl. And 2, being a night owl, I can see when that sharp money's coming in from the West Coast, because, 3 a.m. here is midnight there. It's right before the sports books close, right after they close. And then the big boys are putting their shit in on their app. Or most of them going to the counter to actually pay, because the app will block you and not let you bet a lot of money. But first up, we're going to go with the hometown Atlanta Dream here against the Chicago Sky. Atlanta was 6.5. I bet it at 6.5. It is now, let me find it, make sure I'm not telling you a lie. Polymarket still has a 6.5. It's juiced, but I think it's worth the squeeze. Everywhere else is 8.5. I grabbed it as soon as I saw that 6.5 pop. Had to have it. My model says I'm on the wrong side. Fuck what my model says. The eye test is this Chicago team has trouble scoring points. The Rakia Jackson injury was just devastating to them, because it's just brutal. Dealing with I think it was James Pierce Jr., who plays for the Falcons, dating him. He goes nuts trying to run her over with a car. She was out all last season with injury as well, too. She gets back. She's playing good ball. She really is. She's playing good basketball, and tears her ACL in practice. Done for the year. And at the time, they were 3-1. They were playing really good basketball. And I mean, it was only 3-1, but they were tied for New York for the best in the league. And she was averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. And then the knee, non-contact, driving the baseline against the Lynx. She planted her foot, torn ACL, done for the year. That Chicago got. It's just bad luck. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, after we are on Atlanta minus a 6.5, she was the big that could score. Cardoso is the big in the middle that is going to have trouble against the number 2 rated defense in the WNBA, and that's the Atlanta Dream. We are taking Camila Cardoso of the Chicago Sky under 12.5 points. Her last 5 games, she scored 9, 10, 12, 12, 2. And they're literally just setting this number at her average and keeping it there. If they were worried about it, and if enough money were coming in to make the books have a decent amount of risk, they would have this line at 11.5. But they're hanging soft lines that can be taken advantage of, ideally, hopefully, with the right research and the right data points. But the books are just slow to adjust for things like this. Again, because not a lot of money is coming in on WNBA props, but my money is coming in and then it's coming back. And we're going to take it to the window. Camila Cardoso under 12.5 points. And let me see the other. Oh, and then the next, Atlanta minus 6.5, Camila Cardoso under 12.5. And I'm going to take the game total under 164.5 points. Vegas, I've got a 6.5 point gap in the model that I made. I'm getting plus money under 164.5. The Dream can score, sure. The Dream are good for 90 points in this game, between 85 and 90. The Chicago Sky, maybe 70. I mean, maybe. And that's really, really, really pushing it. Maybe 70 for the Chicago Sky. So I love this under. What could possibly go wrong when I really love a play? But that's it for that Dream Sky game. Next up, we've got the Dallas Wings and the Minnesota Lynx. And look, these are 2 really good basketball teams. They've got Minnesota, again, I got this one early. They were favored by 4.5. I took Minnesota minus the 4.5. That line is now 4.5 is still available at Polymarket. Pinnacle has a 6. Everywhere else is 5.5. I got it. I like the 4.5. 5.5 is one of those key numbers in basketball. If you like Dallas, take Dallas plus the 5.5. Having Minnesota minus a 4.5 isn't necessarily my favorite play on the board, but I'm going to go with what my model and my spreadsheet has for me and what it's told me. And Minnesota's playing this well this early in the season, but this is without Nafisa Collier, and that's probably the best player in the league next to Asia Wilson. And they're like, when she comes back and gets 3 games in, like, their rating in my model is going to skyrocket because it's going to take 3 to 4 games to get her integrated. But this team is really, really good. And Cheryl Reeves is just, man, she's a hell of a coach. She really is. But we are taking, let me make sure I put that in there. Yeah, we're taking Minnesota minus 4.5 for a unit. And I just think home crowd, traveling, Dallas is young, on the road, I think they have a hard time. 5 points, I think we can win by 5 points with free throws at the end. It's going to be a sweat. I'm not going to sweat. Probably not even going to watch it. That's a lie. I actually am going to watch it because I enjoy watching these games. But I'm taking Minnesota at minus 4.5 for it's a half unit play. But more importantly, we need to talk about the rookie of the year we've got a future bet on, Miss Olivia Miles, because this is a conversation. She's a second overall pick, 23 years old. First pro season, she's averaging 17.2 per game, 6.4 assists per game. She's shooting 52% from the field, and her points, rebounds, and assist average per game, 28.6. Her last 5 point rebounds and assist totals, 31, 39, 33, 29, 29. So coming into today, the line is 27.5. You know what I did. Biggest bet of the day. We took Olivia Miles over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not leaving money on the table or even leaving money with an opportunity to get off said table. We're taking this ticket to the fucking window. Wish I was at the casino with this one because I would hammer this, but I can hammer it on my sports book on my phone. But just being at the casino is fun, so whatever. But the other half of the offensive machine that is, where did it go? Courtney Williams, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe I didn't bet Courtney Williams. Anyway, we'll get back to Courtney Williams. I think I wanted to put her in there, but I might have taken it out. I really wanted to put her in there. I guess I did not. So, no, there it is. Courtney Williams is the other half of the Minnesota offensive engine, and she's averaging 17.1 points a game. Scored 30 against Phoenix 2 weeks ago, 21 a couple games after that. The line tonight is 16.5. It's going to be close. I think hopefully somebody talks some smack and pisses her off and makes her want to. It gets her motivated. Crowd has her motivated playing at home. I think she gets over this. A half unit play, not a lot. And on the Dallas side, look, Paige Beckers is her on between Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray. They're my favorite players in the league right now, and of course Kelsey Plum. But right now they have her rebound line at set for Paige Beckers at 3.5, and I'm fading that because she has, in the last 10 games, she's gone over 3.5 one time, and that was against Seattle. And that was when Seattle didn't have Dominic Malanga. I don't even know if Stephanie Dolson played. Even if Stephanie Dolson did play, Paige is going to get rebounds over her. She ended up with 9 rebounds that game. All the other games, 3 rebounds, 3, 6, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. They set it at 3.5. I'm sorry, and that's 8 out of the last 10 games. They set it at 3.5. I'm taking the under 3.5 rebounds. I'm going to build this bet around the pattern, not the anomaly that she had 9 against Seattle and 6 against somebody else. 8 out of 10 times, and even going back, and even her rebound opportunities, because Dallas shoots a lot of outside shots. They've got Jessica Shepard on the inside to bang down low, and I just think that Paige isn't getting 4 rebounds. Hopefully tonight, it's a half unit play, not going crazy. And in the same game, another bet. We've got 4 bets in this game, but we're taking the over 172.5. They played on the 14th, and Minnesota won 90-86. And this was early in the season. Everybody's just getting their feet wet, especially in regards to Olivia Miles, the rookie. AZ Fudd for the Wings wasn't even a starter at that point, with AZ Fudd and Olivia Miles rounding into form, just coming into her own. AZ Fudd now starter and who's a lights out shooter. These teams are going to get up and down. Minnesota's averaging around 90 points a game. Dallas is averaging around 84 to 85 points a game. I'm not saying defense is going to be optional. These girls are going to want to play. It's Commissioner's Cup, but there's going to be a lot of points scored. Over 172.5, Dallas and Minnesota. And the last game on the board, I really want to take Phoenix in this spot because I just think it's way too many points. But again, even like I did when in my season preview of the Phoenix Mercury, I called them Paper Tigers. I don't like this roster. This coach needs a little more time. Kalia Copper is not 100%. Alyssa Thomas is not 100%. She's going to play tonight. It's the Commissioner's Cup. It's $500,000 on the line to be split, but she's not 100%. She's got a calf issue, so she might not go. And she's the engine. She makes everything go for this Phoenix team, and this line is at 8. They've got they've got Golden State favored by 8, and it may have gone to 9. Let me double check and make sure. Opened at 7.5. And it's 8.5 across the board. Yeah. Open at 7.5 at Bet Online, which is that's a lie. Jesus. It opened at 6.5 at Bet Online and got just hammered up to 8.5. I wish I would have caught that when I caught the fucking dream line, but now it's at 8.5. I'm passing on it. I like the over maybe, but I don't know the Alyssa Thomas story. Back to the Valkyries. They're 6-3 in their second year in the W. They've got the best offensive rating in the league, 111.9. They made the playoffs last year. We know all that. Phoenix was on a 7-game losing streak, and they just snapped that a couple days ago. They're still looking for their identity. They don't know who they are. Alyssa Thomas knows who she is. Kalia Copper knows who she is, and they know how to play off of each other. But they got 3 other women out there playing with them that they have to incorporate into the system, into the flow of the game, and they're just not there yet. Maybe after the All-Star break, as things move on. But the one play I do have in this game is on Golden State, the Valkyries, their engine. I'm not betting on points. I'm not betting on threes. I'm betting on her to make this team go. And that's on the WNBA's most improved player from last year, Veronica Burton. Her PRA average, we're taking her over on points, rebounds, and assists. 14.2 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. She does everything for this team, and the average for the season is 23.5. The line tonight is 21.5. At Novig Sportsbook that I use for this. Her last 10 PRA totals, 23, 13, 22, 15, 34, 19, 23, 24, 23, 28. So she started out hammering it, and then she'll go good game, bad game, good game, bad game. But her being at home on a Wednesday night, televised game, I think this is a prime opportunity for Miss Veronica Burton to go over her points, rebounds, and assists over 21.5. Another half point with 3/4 of a unit play. So you're betting $20. If you're a $20 a unit better, $15 on that one. A full unit's $20 or however you want to do it. But here it is. I'm going to run through these 9 bets again. Atlanta, the Dream, -6.5. If you don't like it, I do not have a problem with you taking the Sky, but I just think Atlanta blows this team out. I don't think the Sky score a lot of points. So in the same game, we are on Atlanta and Chicago under 164.5. We're on Camilo Cardoso under 12.5 points. On to the next game, we're on the Minnesota Lynx -4.5. That line's now 5.5. It might move to 6.5. If that happens, get on Dallas. Fade me, get on Dallas. I got this overnight. This is probably not getting to you until lunchtime, but fade what I'm doing if this line moves past that 5.5. If it stays at the 5.5, leave it alone. If you like Dallas, I completely understand. And that money line might be worth a sprinkle for some value. If you want it, I just think Minnesota gets it done in this spot, this particular spot. Point guard for Minnesota Lynx, Olivia Miles, Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Her points, rebounds, and assists over 27.5. My favorite bet on the board today. Her running mate in that backcourt, Courtney Williams, over 16.5 points for an eighth of a unit. Paige Becker's rebounds under 3.5. I don't think Minnesota's also to fail to mention, Minnesota's the number 1 rebounding team in the W. And I don't think Paige is getting 4 rebounds. So Paige Becker's under 3.5 rebounds. And the Lynx and the Wings over 172.5, over 172.5. They can come to play defense in this game. It is a Commissioner's Cup game, like I said, but I do like the over. And in the nightcap, Veronica Burton, over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And that's going to do it for the card, guys. All the baseball bets were put in on Polymarket. All of the WNBA bets were put in on Novig. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday afternoon, lunchtime coming up, evening, whatever. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Just because you're online doesn't mean you have to be angry, okay? Just be cool. Appreciate the engagement in the comments, man. I really do. I love these guys know hoops, and you like talking hoops, so chop it up with me in the comments. I'm always gonna chop it up back. No negativity, no bullshit, no fuckery. I'm not having that shit in the comments. You will be blocked, banned, done. All right. So keep it positive. We can talk about sports. We can talk about how my bets are not hitting, and that's fine. But keep it cool. I'm not here for the bullshit. All right. Don't bet what you can't afford to lose. And if a bet makes you sweat, you are not doing it right. This has been Jamaya for the To The Window Sports Betting Podcast. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Love.